Hi navigators, long time no see. Finally I found time to create this video, reefer handling on practice. I would like to recommend you watch this video until very end, and I am definitely sure that you will find plenty of useful information. Okay, let's go. As usually we receiving the EDI pre-install from Center Planner, and you need to print out separate files, separate hard copies for deck crew, list of reefers to be discharged and reefers to be loaded on particular port. I will remind, we go to quick search or hotkeys Ctrl Q. I have now port of loading Shanghai. This low code is Shanghai. Tick reefer, go run. I don't have so many reefers. This is only for demonstration to clear explanation for you. So we see now this list, numbers of units as usually, yeah, and set point. If you don't have the set point, for guys who don't remember, you have to set up here, go to configure table, find in this list set point, and add. Now is alarm because I already have it. Later on you go view PDF and send to the printer, print for guys. This vital column, because guys have to check these set points upon reefer loading. And same style with reefer for discharging. Let's say we arrive to port 8 and we need to print out discharge list for reefers. Also tick port 8 here from your port of call list. Click run. And same story, set point here. View PDF and print out. Hope this is clear. Next step. Also, as you remember from my previous videos, you have to verify a final quantity of reefers on departure. Yeah, you just remove all filters, click reefer, run. So total reefers on departure for particular port. In my case, for example, 15. You might have also 15. On my experiences, record was 600. And I will remind how to do so also. For example, you have on the arrival, let's say 300 reefers. You have for discharging, let's say 150. And you have for loading, let's say 75. And final quantity of reefers on departure, you must have 225. Okay, go to next step. You have to make sure that in the port, this is final like point, when you must receive reefer manifest. The reefer manifest is like document for every container. You might refer for it for set point, ventilation setting, and humidity setting. The cargo operation started and discharge in progress. Yeah, and in this case, very important thing to unplug reefers once on very beginning of discharge of particular bay. Very often I face when I come on board and the deckhands starting to unplug beforehand. This is not so good because this is reefers, yeah. So if it's for example you in the hot country and you have set point, let's say at -35, so it might be defrost of unit, yeah. So the normal practice is disconnect reefers upon foreman command, yeah. For example, is bay now, let's say, yeah, bay 13 we have now on screen, yeah. And when this bay started to discharge, and let's say when this tier 88 and 90 already discharged, so in this time you can give command for the guys to unplug reefers. But before, better to make sure, ask foreman they don't have any coffee time or break or change shift, etc. So as a final result, we unplug reefers directly before their discharge. And next step is, let's simulate we have loading, yeah. The loading is started. In this case, some key points to be followed. Keep monitoring and keep entering the cargo logbook when particular base started loading. This is like logbook for your safety. since if anything happens, for example, you will receive some claims that reefer not plugged yet timely, and it was some defrost or I mean temperature below down, yeah, over the limit. This is your safe side to prove that ship side plugged timely, because very often on practice the shore side unplugged and they keep few hours, maybe half day ashore, and later all these claims just sent to the ship. No, this is not normal practice. When you loaded particular bay and you connect Reefer, I always for my guys we are logging the time and the set point and return together with current temperature upon it's loaded. This is your safe side as I mentioned. Yeah? For example, bay this 30 loaded and exactly this time connected, plugged, and you have list with everyone you need, time of loading, set point, supply, and this list you have to store somewhere just to be on safe side. It's not nobody blame you that you are connected Reefers too late, because sensitive cargo inside for sure, and it's much more expensive than regular dry units. Sometimes happens when unit loaded and it will not be started once you plug to the reefer socket. You have to check few items. The regular one is just breaker is on off. Later on change socket, might be socket just without power or something. And sometimes when the reefer is, for example, due to negligence of crane driver, hit to the deck, yeah, and the breaker inside the unit might be automatically switched off. You just open the cover, as you see now on screen, open this cover and put back this breaker on. Also upon loading, make sure there are no any alarms rising on unit which is loaded. If any alarm raised, for example, or power cannot be switched off with steps done what I described before, call electrician or reefer technician if you have him on board. He has to clarify what the problem. If the problem cannot be solved in time, directly now, yeah, so you contact the reefer technician from shore side. If he is successed, so this is good for you. If not, I would recommend you to refuse this unit and discharge back to shore. Otherwise will be problem for sure, especially if you have long passage ahead. One important thing, you should have, of course, according to your ship's management system, some reefer loading and carriage guidelines. In my company I have, and I also refer for it. Some of companies might differ these guidelines. Yeah, also some of companies I faced, you have to daily while sea passage, for example, write to the deck logbook at the very end of working day that all reefers have been checked, no alarms, all working and all is okay. When loading of reefer units completed, verify with loading list. And once you're about to depart or already departed, you're receiving final EDI from terminal. And this very vital thing, you have to verify this final EDI with reefer manifest. I will show you my style how I check to dismiss the mistake. I go to quick search, I open manifest. For example, I see in the manifest and one by one I check reefer and temperature set point. Enter one by one. For example, my now loaded unit is this one, MRSU, port loading Shanghai, run, and we see set point 5 and verify with manifest. Okay, set point 5. If it's correct, so all is good. If not, make remark and immediately send to planner that is a discrepancy with set point. Later on, press select and press shift. When you press shift, you remember from my previous videos, so this unit goes to the pier. And one by one, in this style, I go on. But before go to shift, you have to make sure that your flying big storage is available. Go to settings from Belka, and here should be tick allow flying containers. Otherwise, the max does not give you to move to the pier. I go through the each one unit. Let's say I had 15 here in this case, yeah, and here on pier should be 15 exactly, and every set point should be correct and as per manifest. If any discrepancy, as I mentioned, should be reported to Reefer department. Every charterer has it, and they will advise correct set point and ventilation setting. Some guys, by the way, don't pay attention for ventilation setting. This is normally to be done by ship's crew, to be checked by ship's crew, ship's reefer technician, or ship's electrician. Depends company you work for. I would like to also to mention that some kinds of reefer manifest might be this kind, but this kind is pretty readable, it's understandable. Number of unit, its weight, preset, temperature, ventilation, humidity, dehumidity, gases, etc. and commodity inside. Yeah, what I mentioned regarding Fahrenheit and Celsius, 2.5 Celsius, it's in Fahrenheit 13.6.5. And go next by next. Fresh cheese, apples, and blah blah blah. This kind of manifest, for example, this kind of manifest, NEL. Also commodity, frozen meat, reefer unit, size. By the way, size, yeah, when you load 40 feeders, okay, it's clear. Sometimes you load 20 feeders units. Make sure you are loading to motor to the reefer socket direction. Yes, Celsius, very important. This only Celsius. Previous one, you remember it was Fahrenheit. Vent settings. So humidity not mentioned, so you don't care about it. Also ventilation, 00, etc. This kind of manifest as well. Here more description, milk, ventilation as well, temperature, Celsius, Fahrenheit, humidity, and yeah, manifest completed. Okay, hope this is clear. Go to next stage. Also, one important thing. Normal practice, I always send before receiving the EDI the plan of positions with reefers to be loaded, because for sure you have not all positions to be loaded. Some of huge ships, also I faced with small ships where reefer units was loaded under deck. In this case, when loaded under deck, so you must keep running ventilation permanently. Otherwise, especially hot countries, I understand, you also understand that is not so good to keep without ventilation because of too hot inside. I will add some also important thing like advices. Yeah, do not avoid to use splitters. When you're using the splitters, normally it's like on my practice, it's overloaded and get it melted, etc. Collaborate with reefer technician or electrician. Keep reefer socket in good operation condition. This is very important. If you have bad condition sockets, it's also getting melted or start burning. Or keep spare parts always in the according your charter instruction. You should have some charter instruction list of spare parts to be kept on board. And on practice, when I come on board, it's very often, I would say all the time, it's a fucking mess with reefer spare parts, because chief mate doesn't care. He thinks that is reefer technician responsible, and reefer technician thinks that is chief mate responsible, and as a final you receiving the mess, full mess. And make sure you comply with, yeah, if you don't enough some spare parts, especially vital spare parts like compressors or some sensors, vital sensors, or freon, for example, particular type. Yeah, there are few types of freons. And so make sure you have it enough on board. If not enough, so order, and as soon as possible. In case of sea passage, long voyage, yeah, you got some trouble, serious trouble. For example, compressor busted or etc. So you will have to find a way. Cannibalize another empty reefer, or I faced even my experience. We change one compressor one time per day we change with another unit also. So fact by fact it was working. One compressor for both units running for entire day, and one day one unit, another day another unit. Yes, life is life. So, and it was really sensitive cargo, and we had no any chance to replace new because no spare parts, as I mentioned. Okay, too much talk. Let's go next. Very important, some tips regarding the safety. When crew plug and plug units, yeah, they have to wear electric insulation gloves. This is really vital because safety is a priority, you know, yeah, and pay attention, especially while rainy weather. If rain in progress, yeah, and you need to plug reefer, so should be very careful, yeah, and don't leave the splitters, and if you have it, and don't leave the cables laid on the deck on crossways or somewhere where it might be influenced by water, yeah, which is will be only enhanced chance to electric shock. Remember, the safety is first. And one more thing is I would recommend you to, if you have prescribed deck guys, check reefers, check monitoring while working day. Normally is two different guys should be keep monitoring and logging into reefer monitoring list. If you have reefer man, okay, this is good, he also involved, yeah, but anyway, I would suggest to randomly check by yourself or some experienced guy from deck that is actual set points, yeah, and return temperatures verified with reefer monitoring list. Also would be nice if you familiarize with different commodities and its set points. For example, ice cream carried out at temperature minus 35. You might face also with some sensitive reefers, which is under strict control and to be monitored 3-4 times per day and send daily reefer monitoring list to charterer. Minus 35 also, on my experience, we carried blood plasma. Normally the sensitive reefers I carry on in the completely new reefers to avoid any malfunction because of this stuff is very expensive. For example, meat, as I remember, is minus 10 or minus 15, and bananas might be also about 13 plus 13. Yeah, if you find some, let's say, manifest with commodity banana and you have set point minus 10, yeah, so this is already something suspicious. You have to pay attention also. Why I recommend you to familiar with this stuff. According to safety, normally you have to perform risk assessment, and also one important thing. For example, let me demonstrate. If I, for example, going to load, normally Max 3 is set up for your ship, but sometimes people are changed by themselves. For example, some bulkhead on the crossway is obstructing, etc. For example, this program is, as I remember, is set up. It's not loaded reefer unit on C side. Okay, let's demonstrate and check. Yeah, this reefer not permitted at this position load anyway. Okay, this is you might undertake this. I don't understand why it's so here, because I face some huge ships and it was prescribed in the officially we could load on C side this reefer unit, etc. But this depends on your Max 3 and your design of ship. Some of crossways, by the way, here, yeah, you might have, if you have, for example, Russian bridge 2-3 tiers, for sure you will have some bulkheads, yeah, and normally, yeah, as I mentioned, Max 3 is set up for give you alarm when you have bulkheads. Why bulkheads? Because you cannot access the motor in case of failure or connect even reefer. Yeah, you have to pay attention for it. Of course, if you find on stage first EDI file sent by center planner, so just mention them, please remove, because this is not prescribed. For example, this one not prescribed position for reefer unit load. Will not be accessible to connect, and moreover is its maintenance. One also important thing, this sensitive reefer, what I mentioned, should be loaded in accessible position. In case of its malfunction, so you must have free access. Not second tier, even not third tier, first tier only, and free access from cross bay in case of maintenance or replace compressor or vital spare parts, fill up, freon, etc. But normally center planner, they familiar with it, and they even send like reminder, please chief mate, make sure that access position for maintenance and blah blah blah. One remark is experience and well familiar center planner. Some planners not follow this rule, and most of them not seafarers. Yeah, and they even not imagine how this cross bay looks, etc. He sees only the screen what you see, and he starts to plan. Okay, this is. I hope this is clear. I think this is latest what I wanted to say. Like this video, share, and write comments. Let's make maybe discussion. I'll try to help you to clarify, and wish you all the best. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.